Welcome to Paint with me in Krita. Today we're going to take a pencil sketch and create a shaded image like this. This is not a painting tutorial, but a quick walkthrough of the process that you can follow along with. So stop the video at any point, follow along in your project, and then restart the video for the next step. If you need detailed information on how to use Krita, check out the rest of the videos in this playlist and all the many other videos in my Krita How-To playlist. So the first step is obviously opening up a new file and pick whatever size that you want. I wanted this to be printed out in a portrait mode, so I open up that. When that's created, it creates two layers, a background layer and a paint layer. Now we want to import our drawing. To do that in Krita, go to Layer, Import Export, Import Layer. And here is the drawing that I have. Now it's not the right size, it's not the same size because my drawing was scanned smaller. So I go to the Transformation tool and I click on the drawing. I press Shift and drag one corner to make the drawing the size I want, and I position it how I want. So in the next step we're going to set up our layers. So here I've renamed my imported image as Original Scan, and then we create an ink layer on top of that. We create a highlights layer underneath it, a shades layer underneath that, a flats layer for painting all the colors, and we keep the original background layer. It's a good idea to lock the original layer so that you don't accidentally draw on it. All of the layers have a normal blending mode except for the shades layer. You want to set that to multiply. Now in this view you can see that I've hidden all of the layers that I'm not interested in right now. You can just click on the eyeball to hide it. So the first layer that I want to work with is the ink layer. I'm going to show that, and this is just what it looks like once I've inked the image. So once I've done that, I can actually hide the original scan. Normally you have a background that's white by default, so you can create a background color however you want. I already have the background done, so I'm going to hide that, and I've just provided a muted background here so you can see some things as we go through the walkthrough. The next step is to create your flats layer. So you just paint in a single layer all the different basic colors of your drawing. The next step is the most important step of the process, and that's creating your shades. So let me just show you the difference that makes. So here is what it looks like with the flats, and now let me turn on the shades. To give you a little bit more idea of what the shading actually looks like, I'm going to turn off the flat layer. And so now you can see the shading compared to the muted background. The other thing to point out here is that my shading is done in the actual colors of the painting. So you can see in the face I use flesh tone colors, and in the hair I use the graying kind of color. Now in this walkthrough I'm showing shades as on one layer, and I'm also showing highlights on a single layer. The more confidence that you have and experience, you can stick to a single layer, but in reality you might create multiple layers as you work through the process, and then you might merge them together in the end. Highlights follow the exact same process as shades, except for their blending layer is normal. It's not multiply. Now in this particular case I just use specular type of highlighting, but you can use all the different styles of highlighting in a single layer if you want. Now that concludes the basic process. I haven't gone into the details of shading with respect to soft edges and hard edges and ambient shading. I'm going to actually put that in a separate video because it's quite a bit of information to cover. And I'll also create separate reference videos on how to do each of the techniques that are very quick. So then the only thing left to do is to turn on all the layers of interest and print out your painting. So that wraps up our walkthrough of turning a pencil sketch into a shaded painting. I hope you enjoyed it and have fun painting. If you found this video helpful, you may want to subscribe and click the notification bell to be updated whenever I publish new videos. You may also want to go to my channel and check out the playlists. I've tried to organize my channel in a way that's easy to find lots of videos because I've got tons of videos there. As an example, in the digital painting, I've got painting walkthroughs for Krita and for Clip Studio Paint, and I also have how-tos. And so, for example, I've got 43 how-to videos for Krita, I've got 35 for Clip Studio Paint, and with animation, I have lots of tutorials on Moho animation. So I hope this video was helpful and you enjoy painting and animation.